The road to 1,000 subscribers continues in prime time. The brightest lights, the biggest stage, the only platform that, well, our guest and the company that he represents helped build. Because, ladies and gentlemen, after all, it was the first company in the backyard wrestling circuit to have come on to Sportswire Radio, and that is WCE. But is tonight the night where WCE and our guest are wondering what's the future? We've heard week after week, and especially on Monday's show, when some would say the youth of the backyard nation, the young whippersnappers, the trampoliners from Kewanee, Illinois, small town backyard wrestling, very well could have WCE right where they want him. And we now know on Halloween, could this be the final act for WCE? Because it's going to now be a devil's playground, a backyard brawl between WCE and STBW. What does our guest think about that? Plus, I'm going to have two major announcements for two huge guests coming on to Sportswire Radio in the next 8 days. That's going to be a big deal. Plus, I'm going to talk with our guest about, well, what's his future, most notably in WCE, because after all, he was Jovi 2 belts, but, well, he's only got 1 belt, and that's for another promotion in Iowa, where he is, after all, America's resident Rockstar. But now, what is that future of Shawn Jovi? What is the future, especially going into another huge WCE show coming up tomorrow afternoon, 4 o'clock Eastern time? Scars, sweat, and tears. And what will America's resident rock star, well, what scars will he have? What will he be tearing about? And maybe he'll be putting his sweat out there to get himself back on track after losing that interstate openweight championship. Plus, we'll talk about Jovi's vlog. It's definitely going on. And what the heck happened, that intergalactic battle that they had a few days ago? And maybe I will mix in an IMF or two thought. And who knows whatever else. Ladies and gentlemen, the road to 1,000 subscribers. Boy, you might even want to say it goes through Appleton, Wisconsin. I'll talk about that. You better believe it. But after all, you're here tonight because, well, college football ain't interesting you. Major League Baseball, pennant races, they're all locked up. You're not out with your girl. Movie plans, you probably saw Beetlejuice, you saw Deadpool, and you're not seeing Batista's movie because, well, he shed all the steroids and all the performance stuff that he used to take, and it's a usual Lionsgate movie because, ladies and gentlemen, we've got America's cat dad, we've got America's top vlogger, and we've got America's resident rock star. Since, after all, he helped build this platform, he helped build this community, and he has been one of the linchpins of the Midwest backyard wrestling circuit, on and off for 2 decades. And some would say, well, he's one of the greatest Wisconsin backyard wrestlers of all time in history. And boy, is that a shot at the bow, just maybe, to those trampoliners. We'll see if they're bouncing off the trampoline or if they're bouncing off walls here to hear the response the world has been waiting for. America's resident rock stars, state of the backyard brawl, America's resident rock star, state of WCE, and he states tonight his presidential-like future. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's give him that introduction. After all, since I stated it over and over and over again, we are in prime time, the brightest lights, the biggest stage. Let's get right to it, because I'm fired up. I'm ready to go like a helium balloon, and this man's gotten this introduction probably more than anybody else in Sportswire radio history. So let's go. So with that, Sports about one of the most beloved figures in Sportswire radio history, Sportswire Radio Hall of Famer, a man that is one of the all-time greats in the Midwest and the Wisconsin backyard wrestling circuit. He's the reigning, defending IMF United States champion. He's America's top vlogger. He's America's cat dad. He's America's resident rock star. His name is, simply put, Shawn! John! One more for the road. Jovi's got it going on. Jovi's got it going on. The champ is here. Champ, how are we doing?
Wow. That was probably my favorite introduction in a while.
But you just got it like 2 weeks ago.
I know. It never gets old.
Oh, you're going to get another one. I think you're here before the 26th then. So I think when we put Tim Mecker in the Hall of Fame, we'll have you here again for that. But yes, somebody did hear the voice crack a little bit. Yes, I've done about 180 shows in 126 days. So I like to see anybody else out there anywhere do what we've done on this platform. But how are we, my friend?
Doing great, Tom. Better now that I'm here.
Well, I mean, people have been waiting for quite a while about what WCE is, had to say and their response toward these trampoliners. Obviously, these youth of the backyard nation, the young whippersnappers from Kewanee, Illinois, small town backyard wrestling, and they've been here on this platform. They've been on their own blog and their own vlog, and they've certainly had a lot to say about you guys. I'm going to get to that, though, in a little while. But first, for those that are listening and watching here in prime time, the brightest lights, the biggest stage, the only platform that Shawn, Jovi, and WCE helped build, All Wrestling Matters. It has been a topic these last few days, and really the past few weeks since you lost that interstate openweight championship from the executioner, the other executioner, Jonathan Pierce. Shawn, Jovi, what is your future in WCE?
That's a big question right now, and unfortunately, because management won't let me, because I'm going to announce it on tomorrow's show, I wouldn't have to leave you folks guessing. I know it's not the face thing to do. I feel a little heelish right now, but but I promised them I wouldn't go in too much detail on my future today. But on tomorrow's show, 3 p.m., might I add, Central Time, which is 4 p.m. your time, Tom.
Yes.
We will be doing Scars, Sweat, and Tears, and I promise the fans that this is a show to remember.
Well, it's been a lot to remember for sure for you, but why is it going to be so extra to remember coming up here?
Well, like I said, I'm kicking off the show, and I'm going to have a live mic, and I'm going to address the future of what is going on with me in WC. Now, does that mean I'm going to throw out a challenge? Is something going to happen? I can't tell you. All I know is when I go out there, the world will know what's next.
But you last year, it was Summer of Jovi. It was one of the greatest runs you had. But this year now you've hit some bumps in the road, you might want to say. You've had your issues with Jonathan Pierce. You lost the Interstate Openweight Championship. And, I mean, where do you go? You were Jovi 2 belts. And, I mean, you were on top. You were on reigning supreme. But now, where do you go from here in that sense? This has not been the Summer of Jovi. Last year, it was just an unbelievable run. It was a magical story you went on. It was a magic carpet ride or a magic carpet bus, whatever you want to call it at this point. But this year, not so fast. Not so fast. So where do we go? It's been bumpy. It's been a bumpy ride here. So, I mean, where do you go in this highly new landscape that WC is? WC's had the probably biggest landscape changes it's had as far as I can remember. And I've been here talking to WCE for 2+ years. I mean, this is a new ball game in WCE.
It is. I mean, if you look at all the changes, I mean, people would think Sinister would still be on top, but he's not. Chaz J is the all-out champion. Jonathan Pierce is the interstate champion. Two people you would never guess would hold a title again if I told you that earlier this year.
How does that make you feel? I mean, Chaz J literally came out of nowhere. Jonathan Pierce. These guys came out of thin air. I mean, I hadn't heard Jonathan Pierce's name, in 2 years? Chaz J? I mean, breaking news. It's Chaz J as a world champion. He's got a new look, and I mean, he's made short work out of guys like Ray Oos and got them confused, and he knocked off Sinister. I mean, this is the most radical landscape I think I've ever seen in WC history.
And I'm not saying it's a bad thing at all, because honestly, I think it's a good thing. It brings new life to the product. And
but where do you fit into this? You're not the new guy anymore. You're not the new one on the block. That was last year, the amazing comeback, finally winning a championship other than the RCW Underground title.
Right.
You've been a mainstay in the IMF. I mean, Summer Bash, you played a huge role in that. The GBYWN news on Sportzwire, we're going to get to in a little while. You played a huge role in that. The All Wrestling Matters, the Discord chat, the Hardcore tournament, all these things. You were a key player in that, so you're not the new guy anymore. The rose is off. Well, it's off now.
Well, yeah. I mean, the training wheels are off. I have to survive on my own now. I don't have to have anybody hold my hand or say this and say that. I'm on my own now, and that's fine, because I'm ready to take on what the world brings to me. Now, as far as you said that it's hard to say what's next for me in WC, deep down, I know what's next. There's a void in my heart somewhere in WCE that I have not gotten to yet. And I'm going to leave the hint at that for tomorrow's announcement.
A hint at that. But do you think you can hang with these guys? I mean, Jonathan Pierce, he took what was so prideful from you. You had a lot of pride walking with that interstate championship run. You were taking that title, and you were taking that everywhere. Summer Bash, IMF shows, here on this platform. Everybody knew you were the mouthpiece of WC. You were the front man. You were the John Bon Jovi of WC. You were the John Bon Jovi of the backyard and underground wrestling circuit, but you lost that championship. You lost that. And by the way, your dad went and saved somebody in a bridge somewhere outside of Nashville. Maybe he went and saved somebody on his way going to a TBW show, or who knows, whatever else. But that's one thing. And then Chaz J, where do you fit into all of this? To me, this is, I think, almost the most unknown times, and I would say not only in your career, but in WCE history.
It really is. There is a lot of new things about WC that kind of separated from what it was a few years ago. Like I said, Chaz and Jonathan Pierce, they would have never been thought of as a champion.
They weren't even thought of at the start of the season. The start of the season, they weren't even thought of. It was Jonathan who? Oh, yeah, that was that guy that was once upon a time around in WCE, and he was around with those other guys, one guy with 3 initials that thought he could go indie and couldn't cut the mustard, and Craven Rage, of all people, ran him out of town. Chaz J, breaking news. It was breaking news. He was out. He was bounced. He was literally bounced out of WC, but he bounces right back in, and he's the man right now. He's the man in Wisconsin. This is, to me, who would have guessed all this?
Yeah, it's honestly, like I said, I'm blown away by it. Earlier this year, I would have never guessed. I thought I would have the interstate still. I thought maybe I'd be the all-out champion by now. There's a lot of things I didn't expect, and hey, all the power to these guys who have stepped up and stepped up to the plate. I couldn't be prouder of those individuals, but you're right. I do need to find my place in all this. It's a very strange time in wrestling. It's a very strange time for backyard wrestling,
and it's for WCE. It's a very
in WCE especially. It's a strange time.
I don't know where WC fits into this right now. We've got these trampoliners for weeks that have been bouncing off trampolines, bouncing in and out of this platform, calling shots at you guys. You guys have been quiet on that. We've got this whole situation where outsiders in WC came in and took the championships. We have Sinister, who's sort of in, he's sort of out, and we saw that whole situation unfold after Chaz J took the title from him. Ray Oos is back, and I mean, Mr. Brightside, I mean, that's a whole other situation there to play with, and he's going to be in a huge match. We've got Nicholas Crenson now talking about his life story with Jonathan Pierce, and I mean, WC, this is really, I mean, listen, in one promotion that was here a few days ago, they talked about dark times. We were living in dark days. But WC is living in the most uncertain days I've ever seen this company live in, as a matter of fact, inside and outside this promotion. This promotion right now is threatened from within, and it's certainly right now threatened from the outside. And I'm not talking about the usuals like IMF and Anthony Steele and James Taylor and the guys that have come on here and said things. No, it's these young upstart whippersnappers, these youths of the backyard nation, these trampoliners. So between everything that we've seen inside WC and outside WC, WC's life is threatened right now. WCE is in jeopardy from what I'm seeing.
You know, it's true. And as scary as a guy who helped bring up this company from the bottom up in 2021, it's a scary sight. I mean, we are under siege. These trampoline guys, they think they can take us out. But newsflash, I've been doing this a hell of a lot longer, probably longer than those kids have been alive. So,
but that's gotta be playing in the minds of some in the locker room right now. Because again, we got guys like Pierce and Chaz J. They're not loyal to WCE. What do they care about WCE? They've got the belts. Sinister, I mean, who knows what he thinks? I mean, this really, I mean, people might not even want to hear him think. I mean, Nicholas Crenson is obviously going to fight for WC. Sure, Darkfire, he's out there. All right, Darkfire's going to wave the flag with you. James Marshall's going to definitely wave the flag. Brightside, who knows if the light bulb's on or not. So I really don't even know. Is there unity within WC to fight these young guys? Because people can say what they want about them, and there's been a huge debate right now in the backyard circuit. Trampoline, non-trampoline. Trampoline versus guys in the ring. Trampoline, it shouldn't be ranked. Trampoline, it shouldn't be tested. But you know what? These guys, they're showing some spunk. They're showing some fire. And they're going up, and they're not afraid right now. And they're calling you guys out. They're calling you guys out. And they took the same playbook that the likes of Omen Black, Soldier GP did in the past, and other guys like Anthony Steele, other guys that have been on this platform over the years. And they've taken that same playbook, and they're bringing that same fire. And that fire could be to put the nail in the coffin to WC if you guys aren't united within.
Yeah, and I mean, let's face it, there's a lot of big egos in our locker room.
Major egos. You got major egos. Crenson, you got Sister, let's be honest.
Yeah, there's a lot of ego. Needless to say, it doesn't need explanation. Everybody already knows.
They know in the backyard circuit, but you guys got to put this behind you. You got a big show ahead. And is this going to be, last year, Shawn Jovi, was the summer of Jovi. It was the summer of Jovi, this magical run, this magic bus ride. It took you to places you never thought you'd be again. It took you even to reunite with an old friend, Remy Ravage. Mm-hmm. You had one of the most emotional matches maybe in backyard wrestling history. It's Summer Bash. It's taken you to being one of the premier guys in the IMF, a place that's in venues, a place that's been drawing hundreds of fans to their shows with a devoted following. You've done that. Every guy that comes on in the backyard in the underground wrestling circuit, oh, Shawn Jovi, I love him. Yeah, I love him. I really, Shawn Jovi, I watch him here. I watch his vlog, Fozzy, he's got the cat. He's got something going on. But now maybe you've got to make it now the fall of Jovi, because right now we're ending summer. Summer right now is in its final stand. By the time next weekend rolls around, it's going to be fall. So that means we're coming toward the end of the season in WC. So last year might have been the summer of Jovi, but in order for you to get back on track, champ, maybe it's got to be the fall of Jovi.
Autumn, fall, whatever you want to call it. I don't like calling it the fall because that sounds like I'm literally falling.
I understand that, but I have nothing else.
But I know what you mean. The autumn of Jovi. Every season of Jovi is something for Jovi. Let's be fair. Whether it's the good times or the bad times, I let them roll because, and honestly, these trampoliners, they may think they're tough, but I wrestled on a trampoline once too. I can't knock them for that. I literally cannot, because they got heart too. And I don't know why I'm talking good about these guys, but
because that's your nature. Your nature is you. Everybody,
they have the heart.
Come on here, guys. Over the years, come on here, and they say whatever is on their mind. Somebody could be saying something bad about you, and you still find a way. You're just a good-natured human being. You're like John Bon Jovi. John Bon Jovi, for those that don't know, he saved a woman. He basically told this woman, don't commit suicide. He was driving along, and he rescued this woman, saved this woman's life. He's John Bon Jovi. He didn't have to do that. That's your father. That's you, Shawn Jovi. You're that same person. And that's what it comes down to. You are a good-natured man, but right now in this circuit, these kids, they don't care. They don't care.
Yeah, I can praise them up and down, but there is the but at the end of it. They are good. They are young. They are brave to calling us out, but they're also stupid for trying to call us out. You see, I know there's egos in the locker room. I know maybe we're not as united as one, but if there's one person who knows how to unite the world, especially in the realm of backyard wrestling, Tom, you're looking at him.
You have been that man. Everybody says, Jovi, I love Jovi. WCE's had an interesting history, but everybody, it doesn't matter who it is. It's James Taylor, Aaron Blaze, Anthony Steele, Jack Delta, certainly Omen Black, Soldier GP, guys like Jason Storm, a whole list of guys, Big Man Cam, D'Angelo LaFlame, Jake Dvorak, all these big names, Atomic Titan, you name them, you name the big names in the backyard in the underground wrestling circuit over the years, they'll have one common thing. Shawn Jovi, yeah, I like him. Shawn Jovi, I respect him, I like him. Maybe they have their opinions on WC, but they always say, Shawn Jovi, he's all right by me. I respect him. He's a veteran. Guys in XCW, Justin Parsley, another guy, Justin Parsley, Chris Jones, all those guys in XCW. Yeah, I know Jovi. I respect him. I watch him. I appreciate everything he does. Everybody, universally. Joshua Allen was praising you left and right on Monday's show. Jovi, love that guy. Everybody respects you, so maybe you can use that to unify this locker room, but also you got to be able to not lose what's in sight. Is you got a huge show coming up, and this is a huge last month for WC, and especially for you personally, because last year, again, was Summer of Jovi. But this year, if you want to make it, let's say, with a better term, let's say Jovi, and we see the sirens are going off because they're coming for me, because they're coming for me to ask this big question. Shawn Jovi, we know fall is coming, and what does that mean? The Fall Classic in baseball. And for you to have an historic Fall Classic-like month, you've got to be able to start that at Summer's Final Stand tomorrow, 4 o'clock Eastern Time, 3 p.m. Central Standard Time, Scars, Sweat, and Tears.
That's right. And like I said, I have that announcement of what's next. I know what's next. And I think this show will shock a lot of people.
The WC has been putting on some good shows lately. WC has been putting on some of its best shows in a long time. I mean,
the booking's improved. Everything's improved overall. The production's back to where it needs to be. I wish we could get more views and get our people back, because we have been doing everything in our power to make it work. We have been doing everything in our power.
Well, let me tell you something. I'm going to go out and say this because it's Sportswire Radio. WCE helped build Sportswire Radio to what it is to say. You rest assured, regardless of what happens at Devil's Playground, a backyard brawl, you rest assured, let your heart not be troubled. As the host of the Sports Report, the owner of Sportswire Radio, the #1 global radio station, the owner of the Promo Wrestling Federation, one of the owners of the Pride Wrestling Federation, your voice, figuratively and literally, where all wrestling matters, the Reverend Tom Bryce, I will not allow on my watch WCE to go by the wayside. You rest assured, WCE is going to always have a place on Sportswire, and rest assured, WCE ain't going nowhere when it comes to anywhere. And as far as I see it, WCE is going to live a very, very long time, because as long as I have a pulse, and we'll see after this show if hopefully my voice keeps going, but as long as I have a voice and as long as I'm alive, I will do everything in my power to keep WCE alive. And I mean that figuratively and literally.
Hey, and I appreciate that, Tom. You're the reason why WC, in my opinion, has the publicity it has. I mean, we started strong. We've been at our up and downs, but Tom, if there's one thing that's consistent about our support system, it's you. You have always supported us, whether the good times, the bad times, and it's because, and I've helped you too. We've helped each other. We've built a great community between WC and everyone else. All wrestling matters, right?
Yep.
That's what it's all about, is bringing everyone together to do these kind of things.
And we're going to do that here. First of all, there's a lot of people that want to talk. But before I do anything else, I want to get some business in order. So first of all, if you're here right now, go hit that sub button for me. I see WC is inching up the sub counts. I see we're at 640 something. I want to get to 650 by tonight. So if you're here right now, you're here for the first time, and you might be coming in here after watching the All Wrestling Matters Hardcore Tournament. What a hell of a tournament that was. Congratulations to the guys at NEW for putting on a hell of a performance out there. But if you have not yet, go please hit that sub button for me. WC, they got a big show coming up tomorrow. I promise you it's going to have all the scars, all the sweat, all the tears from the guys. Go out there and watch it. I tell you, there's going to be some big matches. You got Nicholas Crenson and Jonathan Pierce for the Interstate Championship. You got Mr. Brightside and Sinister. You got a lot of other stuff planned. Chaz J's in the house, and I'm sure a lot of superstars are going to be there. So go and hit that sub button for me, because I'm on that road to 1,000. And yes, if you're here for the first time, I see a whole bunch of you. Hit the sub button for me. I'm almost there. I'm about 90-something subscribers away. So hit the sub button for me at Sportswire Radio 6579. But please support our friends WCE right there. I want you to hit that sub button for them, because you want to be All Wrestling Matters. I'm going to put up the Discord chat also for WCE stuff. I got some other things I want to put up for WC. So please go out and support our friends in WC, because I think it's a good time for me to get to the chat. I got a lot of people fired up, so we're going to get to the chat to let people here talk to you and everybody else. Zilla is in the house. Hi to America Star, and hi to Reverend Tom. But I think that Zilla should take over Sportswire. I think that I'm going to retire, and I'm going to let the baton go to Zilla, because you know what? We need a woman in charge. We need a woman to take over with the microphone. Zilla will boost the ratings up. Zilla's going to help everybody go to the top. I think I'm going to announce my retirement right now and give Zilla the microphone. Let Zilla be the host of Sportswire Radio, the owner of it. She can take it. I'm going to go step aside. So, Zilla, congratulations. I'm going to retire and let you have it, because I think the people, they want to see you, especially after last week's Instagram. I wonder what Shawn has planned. He's told a little bit of us about that tonight. He has. We say hello to the friends of Kewanee, Illinois' small-town backyard wrestling, and we would like to know what Mr. Jovi here has to say about Peyton, Tyler, Dalton, and Nolan. Well, he's been telling us a little bit about that, but besides that, I'm looking forward to what Shawn has in store for his future. We're all looking forward to that. It's tomorrow, by the way. Tomorrow, hit that sub button so you can get that notification. 4 o'clock Eastern Time. WC, Scars, Sweat, and Tears. I want to say hello to our friends in the great state of Oregon, Roseburg, Oregon, BTW, because we have RTG coming here right after Raw to go into the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame. Steven Storm is in the house tomorrow, and RTG is going into the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame right after Monday Night Raw, and I hear from a birdie that BTW is going to be in a ring one of these days. I hear from a birdie that BTW is one of those companies that they've graduated very soon, say maybe next year, trampoline to ring. Watch out. They got some of the very best in our scene already. Jacob Frost, RJS, BES, how about Comatose, Swift, some big names, heavy hitters, and I got a feeling you're going to be seeing a lot more from them. America, yes, hello to BTW. Yeah. I appreciate that, but we'll move on from that. Thank you to Mark Packer, yes. And we say hello. Zilla's been a big fan of STBW. I'm not quite sure why from her vantage point. Darkfire's in the house, the KIGJ. I'm not quite sure what the KIGJ is.
I don't know either.
But thank you anyway. Here is Comatose. Comatose, I have a feeling, will be joining us on Monday's show. You'll have to know if you're a fan of BTW. And congratulations to BTW. They just hit 3,000 subscribers on YouTube. Not too bad for trampoliners. 3,000 subscribers. Pretty good.
That's really good.
Yes, and I'm on my road to 1,000. On the road to 100. We'll combine it. We still don't have more than BTW. Let me get to some more comments. Yes, that was a loud one. I was fired up tonight, and my voice is regretting that one. But hey, I'll have 24 hours to recover. go from there. Yes, the voice, you heard a little bit of it. This was a tough one. Jovi dropped his pocket. He might have. He might have done that. The intro, how do I sound now? I think I sound better, hopefully. I'm doing good, CSW. Yes, we want to say hello to our friends in Charlotte, North Carolina for CSW, Abraham Horn Company. Jovi's got a pipe bomb. Jake Dvorak, who's wrestling, he's commentating, and he's here, which I'm not sure why, because NEW has the All Wrestling Matters Hardcore Tournament. I think it's still going on, because when I left, it was Justin Abel saying, I think it just beat... No, when I left...
I cannot wait to see who wins.
I left, it was Kato and Jimmy Controversy. Kato had just beat Jimmy Controversy, so I don't know what happened after that. Hello to Michael... Yep.
Not gonna lie, I was excited about Controversy showing up.
That was a big one. That was definitely a big one. And we were very happy to see him. And Michael Windsor Jr. was here. Thank you, Michael. And hopefully you hit the sub for WC and hit the sub button for me on Sportswire Radio, because I'm this close to 1,000 subscribers. The landscape has definitely changed. Indeed. We say hello to Jake. And Jake was at a Comic-Con yesterday. He was at the famous Comic-Con Fest. Jake Dvorak. He's everywhere. He did not go sinister dirty, but he out-dirtied the dirty. Yeah, that's a good line. Thank you. I appreciate that, Michael. I appreciate that very much, and I hope you stay here and hang out with us. Jovi has done good stuff with the interstate title that I couldn't, taking it out of state and spreading WC's name across to other states, and that's why WC has remained alive, and that's why WC will always remain alive, because of Shawn Jovi going out there and waving that flag. It's a major accomplishment, what Shawn Jovi did, not only for our community, but WCE. Question here for Shawn Jovi: what's your diet look like to keep that physique? Keep the faith from going there.
Hot dogs and handshakes.
I heard Jake Dvorak use that in the All Wrestling Matters Hardcore Tournament commentary. So, good line there. Appreciate that. Want to say hello to Ox McCoy, who for a moment here is actually just saying hello and just giving you some well regards, well wishes. Ox knows you very well. I'm sure we'll see him in 2 weeks from now. What's up, dude? I'm doing very well. And as a matter of fact, Ox, let me give Ox a big shout-out right here. Why am I giving him a big shout-out? Because Ox designed this really nice thing for us here on Sportswire Radio, because it looks like this. How about that? What a logo there Ox McCoy designed for us. Boy, I got 46 people watching me, so I want you all to see how Ox McCoy, he ain't so much of a bad guy after all. Shawn may not like him, but obviously he designed this really nice logo for us. So thank you, Ox, for your work, your hard work, and we appreciate that. There is Il Drago, the Samoan Dragon. 4 up, 4 down. How you all doing today? I'm doing good until my voice gives out. So actually, my voice, that will pay for that one. Yes, hello there. I'm an indie wrestler for Real Action Pro Entertainment. Can I get a spot on the show? Well, you can message me. I'm on Facebook at Sportswire Radio. I'm on TikTok at Sportswire Radio. And I'm on Instagram at the Sports Report 2021. And while you're at it, go hit the sub button for me, and we can talk for short of the time. Thank you for your comment. Rip to Tim Mecca. Yes, so I'm going to get to that in a minute. I want to get to a few more comments. I want to run through the chat, and I want to talk about my Tim Mecca announcement. Hi to Ox McCoy. Think we know we can. Ooh, I see it's going to get dicey. It's going to get dicey. I promise you that. Maybe. Mallow CSW, you know, at least James Marshall is fighting for the name of WCE. You know he's fighting. That's one. You got one vote. One guy fighting for WCE. Nicholas Crenton makes it 2 votes for WC. I take pride in WC, so Jovi knows I stand by your side. So Jovi's got 2 names. Jovi's got it going on. Salute. Salute from President Zaddy. President Zaddy, we love him. Hello, Mr. Tom Bryce, the greatest talk show host. Well, we'll see how my voice holds up. Hello to the American Rockstar, Shawn Jovi. I understand that we had our differences, but however, I'm going to stand by your side, and we are going to. You know what, Shawn Jovi, maybe tonight's speech has gotten them fired up, because now it's 3 people, of all people, Sinister, Craven Rage, a man you have been fighting with since day one, and said, you know what, we're putting our differences aside. When these young whippersnappers, these trampoliners, the youths of the Backyard Nation come in and invade Appleton, Wisconsin on Halloween, there you have it. There you have it. Your speech is motivating people. That state of Jovi, that state against the Backyard Brawl, the state of WC, seems like WC's foundation is strong. Sirens, now that's Big Papa Pump. Now, I wish that I had Big Papa Pump, some of those ladies there, but we'll move on. We are going to stand together. Started from the bottom, now we here. Started from the bottom, now we here. WCE ain't going anywhere, it looks like. You'll see more of this when I get to the road to 1,000 subscribers. Go ahead, Shawn, Jovi, need a rest break. I'm going to make sure the chat is popping still. So if you need to take a rest, Worry, Craven, Rage is going to align with you. There you go there. So Shawn Jovi, he'll be back with us here. I got a lot more comments here. Where am I in here? If I can get to 650 subscribers for WC, I will do a Slim Jim commercial. Have we gotten any new subscribers since we started tonight's show? What is our number for those in the chat? Are we at 646, 47, 48, 49? I want to see us get to 650 so we can get a James Marshall Slim Jim commercial. That's what I want. What about you? Yes, we say hello to Il Drago. 700, well, I think 700's pushing it. I don't think we're getting 55 tonight. We can definitely get, though, 650. Comatose is on Monday. Yeah, and Jacob Frost. Stephen Frost. For you, Mr. Frost, Steven Storm is here tomorrow. You might want to tune into that one closely. Steven Storm, Jacob Frost, is here tomorrow night. Might want to tune into that one. You definitely, I'm sure, are going to have a few things to say about Steven Storm of the BCF3 and BTW. Definitely tune into that one. Let's get to some more people here in the chat. Hi, Craven Rage, and I'm the high chief of my family. Maybe one day I'll have a tribe or start and move up to the tribal chief. Well, I'll tell you what. Somebody here could very well be the next Roman Reigns or starting the next bloodline in the backyard underground wrestling circuit. Yes, James Marshall likes Ox McCoy. Well, you guys would probably be similar. James, I've been told we need to throw hands someday. Well, is Ox coming to Appleton or is James coming halfway? What's the halfway point between Iowa and Wisconsin? Forget to mention that the CSW Champions Collide is going to be in the 20s of this month. Well, I'll tell you what. And also with Champions Collide, Abraham's going to be here in a couple of weeks on Sportswire Radio. He's going to be here, I believe, October 3rd, which is a Thursday, if I'm not mistaken. So you're going to definitely want to tune in. Abraham's going to be in the house October 3rd, 4 o'clock Eastern Time. Definitely tuning in and support our friends CSW. CSW Backyard Wrestling. CSW Backyard Wrestling. Ox McCoy versus James Marshall. That's a match I'd love to see. Nicholas Crenton just defeated James Marshall. So that's a big one there. Yes, hello to Jacob Frost. We love Jacob Frost. Who? Oh, my all-out opponent. I'll be asleep. Okay, so you'll be asleep, but I'm going to make sure, though, that Steven Storm has a few things to say regardless. And hello there to Nolan Money McDermott. It seems like the numbers game, STBW, they're here. It seems like STBW is here, Shawn Jovi, and budget Matthew Ratcliffe. I don't know who Matthew Ratcliffe is, but thank you, Michael Windsor Jr., and hit the sub button. But Shawn Jovi, glad you're okay with us, and I'm looking forward to some other things here. But before I move on and maybe get to a couple of other things, I think I did want to make an announcement. First of all, the announcement is that September 24th, mark that date on your calendar. Mark it on your calendar, Tuesday night, 8 o'clock Eastern Time, prime time, the brightest lights, the biggest stage. The one and only Tim Mecca goes into the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame. Tim Mecca is going to be here 8 o'clock. Well, not Tim Mecca, but you're going to represent Tim Mecca. And Tim Mecca, the legendary late great Tim Mecca, we're going to honor him and we're going to put him into the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame September the 24th. So we're going to open that for about 90 minutes. We're going to let everybody have a chance to say a few things, and obviously we'll honor the Mecca name, the Mecca family, and it's going to be a special day, and it's going to be a day that's been long overdue, and we want to congratulate the Mecca family. We want to obviously thank everybody that's made this special. And we want to congratulate everybody in WCE and everybody that has been keeping this man's name alive. The late, great Tim Mecca, a man that meant so much to Shawn Jovi, Nicholas Crenson, James Marshall, Jonathan Pierce, the Executioner. So many people in the Midwest backyard wrestling circuit. And we really appreciate that. So we're going to put him in the Hall of Fame September the 24th. So stay tuned for that. Most doubtably. But before I get into anything else, I had two more things I wanted to address. So I noticed, Mr. Jovi, you're still the IMF United States champion. So I was wondering now, I'm aware of the fact that you are going to be here on September 26th with a slew of guys in the IMF, and I saw Isaiah Rage put out his own promo, and apparently it's a triple threat match now with your U.S. Championship and this mystery opponent. I was wondering very quickly, what is your thoughts on all that?
Well, like I said in my promo, needless to say, I take the third man, push him out. I don't know who he is. I can't prepare for him, but I can prepare for Isaiah Rage. You know, he's had a lot to say about me to my face, behind the scenes. He says a lot. He has a big mouth.
You've been feuding with him for like 4 months now. You guys have been playing hot potato with the U.S. Championship.
Right. We have. We literally have since, I believe, June. And he doesn't get it. He doesn't realize that you can't defeat America's Rockstar when he's more American made than Isaiah Rage will ever be. Isaiah Rage, he's upset because he can't get the fan base that I have. Isaiah Rage is upset because he can't get one over me. He thinks I need all this help to defeat him. Bitch, I put you down with the bed of roses and you got pinned. It doesn't matter who was there. It doesn't matter who helped. I mean, hell, you had Ace helping you. He just sucked at helping you, and it was unfortunate for you, but it was my gain at the end of the day, baby.
You concerned at all about this mystery opponent? I mean, this could be anybody. A mystery opponent. A mystery opponent. You have any concerns about this at all?
You know, concern is kind of a big word for it. I will be prepared for whoever it is. I just want to make sure Rage is put in check before I take care of my mystery opponent, my third extra opponent.
And you have any inclinings on who this mystery opponent is?
Not a clue. I've heard he's a big name and possibly a big signing, and we'll see what happens. I mean, I'm open to facing anyone. I'm a fighting champion. I'm a fighting champion. I've always been. Look at what I did with the interstate title. Every month I went to IMF. What did I do? I defended the interstate title. No, I haven't had a luxury of doing this yet. So once I get through this triple threat match, I will be doing it. I will be doing open challenges again because everyone deserves an opportunity. And what better way to prove yourself than going through the gatekeeper of that is All Wrestling Matters?
Well, we'll have to find out. I mean, certainly we're all going to be keeping an eye on that. And I'm going to have a major announcement for the IMF that day. So that's going to be a monumental announcement. I promise you, that one's going to be very monumental. I'm going to have a major announcement that I'm going to be doing something for the IMF that day. So, no, I'm not going to be there on the 28th, but I'm going to have something that I'm going to do for the IMF that I think a lot of people will be really appreciative. So I really look forward to that.
Excellent.
But I'm looking forward to that, and that'll be September 26th. A whole roster of your favorite IMF wrestlers will be here, getting us ready for the September 28th show. More details during the week on Sportswire Radio. But I had one more announcement that I wanted to get to, which kind of go to a slight detour before I get to, well, what I think some people are waiting for eagerly, is that we are going to have on a man that's a true legend in the backyard wrestling circuit that's going to be here this Tuesday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time, in prime time, the brightest lights, the biggest stage, the only platform where all wrestling matters. And that's a man you know very well from those days. And the GBYWN, they've got a really big show that we spoke about with Rad Dad. When we put Rad Dad in the Hall of Fame here a week and a half ago, and I'm talking about none other than the legendary Sick Rick is here. He's going to be here live in prime time, and that's going to be one, whether if you're a yarder from today, a yarder from yesterday, a yarder in the future, you will not want to miss what the legendary Sick Rick has to say. And that one I know you, Shawn Jovi, are going to be tuned into, that's for sure. 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time, baby. What do you want to say? What should our audience expect? And speaking with maybe arguably the historian of the backyard wrestling circuit and the one and only legendary Sick Rick.
You know, Sick Rick, yeah, he's a living legend. Him and I have had our past spats. But at the end of the day, Rick is one of the biggest names in backyard wrestling history. Now, he's a historian of that too. This guy I've heard has like a 5 terabyte hard drive of archives in backyard wrestling, which I'm trying to buy a copy off him right now. Might I add? I want to watch 5 terabytes worth of old wrestling. So, but nonetheless, Rick is one hell of a person. He's one hell of a competitor. I can't wait to see this reunion show that's coming up because honestly, when I heard about it, I wanted to go. I still want to go. I just can't. And it's on the same weekend I got IMF.
Well, you're the IMF US champion, and your foundation, four up, four down, need you.
Right. You know what it is. You know where I'm going.
Yes.
But yeah, you know, I really do support, and I really want that to be the best show imaginable. Rad Dad's got a GBYWN title match. I hope he can fulfill his legacy. And so much more is going to be at that show. Every yarder, past, present, anyone. It's going to be huge. You got people from my past even going to be there, like Chris Castle.
Okay.
Yep. There's a lot of them. Devin Bliss, Matt Nix. There's people like Tony Deppen. People who are actually known across the world, like Deppen, and I don't think
Outcast is going to be wrestling. Outcast is on the card. I mean, we got Rotten. I mean, there's some really legends that a lot of people never thought we'd see again, and we're getting one more crack, and Sick Rick is going to talk about this. He's going to preview the card with us next Tuesday here, coming up this Tuesday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Really excited about this. I mean, this is just a huge treat. So if you were a fan of wrestling, you were a fan of All Wrestling Matters and everything else in the Backyard Circuit's history, Sick Rick is the man. He knows it all. He's seen it all, and he's going to be here live with us, also part of Golden Triangle Media. We love everything they do. Just unbelievable work. We want everybody to go follow him and all the great works that he's done for our community. It's so good to see somebody like him with us, and it's just an amazing honor, and we obviously cannot thank him enough for granting us this opportunity. Just a real treat for any fan of wrestling. Yep.
I'm excited it worked out.
And we're very happy about that. We thank you. We thank Rad Dad for setting this up, and we want everybody to follow Golden Triangle Media. You can see a little bit of history on the show from there, the videos, some of the stuff on the GBYWN, and I mean, Rad's going to be Rad Hazard one more time, so this is really, really exciting that we're going to see Rad Hazard here in the ring one more time as Rad Hazard, and we're going to see also coming up a whole list of favorites that were in the GBYWN. So I'm really, really excited about that, and that'll be 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Sick Rick is live with us in prime time, the brightest lights, the biggest stage. I want to ask you one more question before I get to those trampoliners one more time as we get ready to end the show. But, it was about a week and a half ago, Gabe Sayers was here, and he was talking about a little thing called an Underground Wrestling Alliance. And companies came up, TF Crew, NEW, your company that you work for, IMF, UWF, I'm sure a few others you want to throw in. You can, I'm sure, all figure it out and who could work together. And there was this whole idea of an underground wrestling alliance where maybe wrestlers and wrestling companies could work with each other, and maybe they could cross-promote and maybe trade and just kind of have an open exchange, open form of collaboration, almost like the territories. And you have seen it all. You have been a man that lived through the GBYWN. You've seen all these super shows, these reformations. And what was your impressions on what Gabe Sayers had to offer?
You know, I think he has a lot to offer, and I really like his ideas. I know him and I were talking about collaborating with his Discord and the All Wrestling Matters Discord. I haven't gotten to talk to him about it yet, but I want to work with him too as far as like this whole alliance goes, because wrestling needs more alliances. The territory days always were a place in my heart. And if you think about it, these All Wrestling Matters titles, the new hardcore one that's crowning a champion on the air as we speak.
We have the Underground Championship, D'Angelo the Flame holds. He won it at Summer Bash. We have some great champions, sure.
Right, and those are the champions that represent this alliance that we should have. I mean, All Wrestling Matters, it can be an alliance too, Underground Wrestling Alliance, whatever you want to call it. Let's just collaborate. Let's just get to work. Let's just have fun and explore our horizons, do things we never thought we could do. I've been doing that the entire time, like this whole run. Like, I didn't think we'd ever get to this point again in the backyard community. I never thought we would see something this close to GBYWN. And that's what makes this all very special.
Well, that's what it's all about. At the end of the day, I know that we come from different places. We come from different forms of wrestling. We come from maybe different personalities, different lifestyles. But at the end of the day, we're all on the same team. And I think that if we can have an opportunity to work together, and I know sometimes, we all kind of have, tongue in cheek, and we play and have fun, and maybe we go and say different things. But at the end of the day, we're all on the same team, and there's no I in team. And I think to have an opportunity where we could work together, we have a Discord group. By the way, if you'd like to join, this is the All Wrestling Matters Discord chat. You're more than welcome to join us. And if you want to join, everybody's welcome. And I think that's what you saw at Summer Bash. You see the Riot in the Ring. You see the All Wrestling Matters Hardcore Tournament. You see what's going on with the Backyard Brawl coming up here. We have Backyard Havoc. We see a lot more things popping up. Summer Bash is already announced for next year. We have Ox McCoy, by the way. Give it up for him. He's got the Ultraviolet Cup coming up next year for the All Wrestling Matters. I mean, a lot of great stuff is out there, and this is what it's about. I mean, so it doesn't matter to me where you come from, where you are, who you are, and I think that this should only be scratching the surface right now from where we are. So I am very much a believer in working together. I'm very much a believer in teamwork, because that's how I'm here right now. I wouldn't be at almost 1,000 subscribers if you'd out there watching and listening didn't think that there was an outlet for it. I had one particular wrestler, I won't say his name, a legendary backyard wrestler, messaged me yesterday and talked about what this meant to him. He watches every show and he watches every stream, and he talked about, I don't want to say his name, but he talked about how much this means to him. I had one wrestler I interviewed who came on a couple of days ago, who's, again, a well-known veteran wrestler, talked about just how much that this means to him, that he's getting a chance to be seen in different places that he wouldn't have been seen. So it really means a lot to a lot of people. And, we've got a lot of great groups. We've got the Discord group. I have the Backyard Wrestling Nexus group. I welcome people to join that. Anthony Arias and some of those members there. I know Jacob Frost is a part of that. We have the PWF group, the Promo Wrestling Federation group. Gabe's group is there, the TF crew. So I've got some really great groups. You want to join us? Anybody's welcome. Hit me up. Hit up WCE. Please hit the sub button for WCE, because I want to get WCE to 1,000 subscribers too, and I want to get WCE also here to 650 subscribers, so James Marshall can create that Slim Jim commercial for us. That would be a fun sight. I would really like to see that. So before we get more comments, I want to see that James Marshall Slim Jim commercial. Slap it to a Slim Jim. So we're still at 645 subscribers. So I'm going to put that link back up one more time, because I want everybody to go out there and support WCE, because I want to see those subscribers go up. And there you have it, 645. I want to hit the 650, but let me get to a few more comments before I move into anything else. Let's see you come on Sportswire first. We appreciate you tuning in. Thank you so much. Yes, September 26th. What are you doing that day, by the way, Jacob Frost? He's from Nebraska. You should meet Jacob Frost one day. He's from Nebraska. You should meet this guy. He's definitely he's a big man. He's a big young man, and he's got some size. He's got some power. He's got some experience, and he's got quite a reputation in the backyard wrestling circuit for doing a lot of things, and I would definitely keep an eye on him. A third person, especially a mystery opponent, can be a wild card. Absolutely. James Taylor is in the house. How are we doing? Well, you just wait for another few minutes from now. I don't have the fan base, but I ain't angry at Shawn. No, we're definitely not angry at Shawn. We love Shawn Jovi. And we're going to get to that in a second. And James Taylor is good. Glad to hear. We're happy James Taylor is good. James is going to be here Thursday, by the way, because ROEW will be going into the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame, because ROEW is at almost 1,000 subscribers, and they'll get to 1,000 by Thursday. They only need 6 subscribers. So I'm sure James Taylor can get 6 subscribers out of his big war chest of subscribers. I'm sure they'll get there. And Sinister is here, and your brethren in the foundation, it is his platform, Mr. Omen Black. Yeah. Check him from a certain state, not Appleton, I would imagine, but not Iowa, and it's a place. Okay, well, there's a lot of good guys out there. We'll have to figure out what that is. I want to say hello to Chase Wakefield, because Chase posted this thing on his YouTube channel. It was this audio vlog. And I do want to say, Chase, are you okay? He posted this audio vlog, and my first thought was, Chase, is everything all right? I mean, he posted a few things that he was going through, and I mean, I'll definitely bring you on to Sportswire, Chase. Please let us know if everything is okay, because Chase Wakefield, he had this. You gotta watch his vlog. Check his vlog out. It's Chase Wakefield. Please support him. But let's hope you're okay, Chase. Chase is a good friend of the platform. Chase wrestled this past Thursday against Austin James, who's been now a frequent product of GTS. So nice to see Chase back out there in the ring. Yep, GTS, and very good stuff there. And Chase is a big fan of you. I told you, everybody likes you. You're everywhere, and everybody loves you. And
I think I'm more loved than I know.
WCE all the way. I'm sure that this individual is definitely, that makes it 4 votes for Team WCE. Team WCE seems like they're gaining strength. And if you're here, hit the sub button for me. I'm actually 93 subscribers away from 1,000. So get WC to 650. And also, Shawn Jovi, he ain't too far away from 1,000. So if you're here right now, I got a bunch of people. I got Chase Wakefield. I got CSW, Abraham Horn. I got STBW. I got Zilla. I got Michael Windsor. I got all you different people here. You're watching me on X. You're watching me on YouTube. You're watching me on Twitch. Hit that sub button for Shawn Jovi. Hit the sub button for him, because he's almost there. He's actually not too far away from 1,000 subscribers. You can see him in his most recent match against Shawn Jovi versus Jonathan Pierce. I mean, look at this. And this match has gotten almost 200 views already. I mean, you can definitely go out there. Let's support those that support us. Shawn Jovi, I tell you what. Let's get him to 1,000. He's not that far away. He's going to get there. So this is what you see on his channel. A lot of great stuff there. Him and Jonathan Pierce, our new interstate champion. Jonathan Pierce is a legend in the Wisconsin backyard wrestling scene. He continues to want to be a legend. He's reinvented himself. Now, these past few months, he's back on top, some would say, and this was an epic match. I won't spoil it for you. There's some highlights. Go support Jovi's vlog. Also, check out this hilarious intergalactic smash. I mean, boy, Mark Packer is always up to something, up to his old tricks, and I mean, there's everybody here. I mean, everybody.
He had to serve his sentence. He was.
Wow.
He misbehaved. Now he has to sell water at Soldier Field, and that's what happened.
Well, you know, it's going to be a long year for the Bears, so I'll tell you that much. But obviously, hopefully,
for us too. We're loveless right now.
Well, hopefully he comes back. My one friend in the chat yesterday in the sports show said maybe he'll come back next week. But obviously, you can see all of this. Jovi's definitely got it going on. He's America's vlogger. He's America's cat dad. He's America's resident rock star. He's our champion. He is the most beloved man in the backyard and underground wrestling circuit. That he was voted on that by me, because I gave him an award. And he's one of the most influential people in this platform, in this community. So please go out there and support him. And yes, Chase, I definitely want to bring you on. Message me when I'm off the air. He has my phone number. But you know what? I think I got all that business out of the way. And I think that, Mr. Jovi, I can't let you walk away tonight without really what's in your mind about those trampolines. I know we talked a little bit about it earlier in the show, but really WCE's been on its heels right now. WCE really hasn't had much to say. Yeah, you guys interacted briefly, but these kids, they've been going out on their own channel even and saying a whole bunch of things. They're going to basically make you dinosaurs to be extinct, and talked about that, you know, you're too old, you can't stay up, and they basically said you're past your prime, and it's, you know, they're going to not even pass the torch. You're not even going to pass the torch to them. They're going to forcibly take the torch from you. And I mean, they've been just, you know, provocative. They've been confident. They've taken what Judas has been doing to Darkon and taken it on a whole nother level, and they're hell-bent on putting the nail in the coffin to you guys. And I mean, you are America's resident rock star, and you are the leader of WCE in that locker room. And Shawn Jovi, I mean, it's really, you going to let this continue to go on or what?
I've had enough of it, man. Like,
you have?
These guys, they've run their mouth so much. They're writing checks that they can't cash yet. They haven't even gotten in the ring yet. Half of these guys haven't even been in a ring, and they want to step in a ring.
I think 3/4 of them haven't been in the ring.
Yeah, I know, like 1 or 2 of them have, but that's 1 or 2 of them. What about the rest of them? They don't know what they're stepping into. It is a devil's playground in a wrestling ring, after all. It's going to be a backyard brawl, and I can guarantee you, united we will stand for WCE as we do destroy these punk ass kids. Everything.
You just called Shawn Jovi. I've never even heard you use that kind of language. You and I are almost on the same wavelength. We're like the only two people in backyard wrestling. We don't use profanity. We don't basically raise our voices. I mean, I have done it, but I mean, I do it really for the sanity of the people. But that's the first time I've even heard you use that kind of language, Shawn Jovi.
I mean, the first time for everything, right, Tom? I got to step up my game. If I have to throw a few swear words here and there to get my point across these little whippersnappers, I guess I gotta.
But do you think, listen, they've got the youth behind them. And, we know that some of the guys in WC, in their own words, they're senior citizens. AARP is what they were using on Monday's show. Guys like Sinister, guys like Jonathan Pierce, guys like Nicholas Crenson. Even you, some are saying that you guys are more closer to AARP in retirement than closer to these young whippersnappers' ages. And that's why they feel so confident that you've basically lost a step. You've had your own year where you struggled. And that basically they're just going to walk in and just put the nail in the coffin to you guys.
I want to see them try because
they're
a lot of bark, but are they going to bite? That's the thing. Will they actually bite? Because we're going to bite harder. They're stepping into our territory, Tom. Our territory. And Wisconsin wrestling, backyard wrestling especially, is a community that I hold dear to my heart. You think I'm just going to let it die to some little bastard children?
But they watched what IMF did last year, and IMF challenged WCE. Tyler Fury works in IMF. I know everybody, you guys are with the foundation, but they certainly watched. They watched what happened, and these guys are taking it even to a level that Soldier and Omen and Dirty and everybody else didn't take. Listen, that was in a way kind of friendly competition last year. These guys, they're hell-bent on basically, they even said, get this, ladies and gentlemen, they even said on Monday's show that if Tyler Fury, who owns STBW, that if he had the contracts of WC talent, because we know a lot of guys in WC make a lot of money, he would rip them up and wouldn't even use you guys. He wouldn't even want the WC name. That's how confident he was, and that's how brash that he and the likes of Nolan Money McDermott were. Those two especially, really, they were so confident in that even if they win and they put the nail in the coffin to WC, they don't even want you guys. They don't want you. These trampoliners who don't even have a ring, they're basically eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Here's my promotion. I'll flip a coin. Let's see who's next as champion. They don't even want you guys. They don't even want you.
They should at least take me. I said I'd be willing to wrestle on a trampoline one more time. Let's just be fair.
But that's cockiness. They're cocky. They're fresh. They're young.
They're very cocky, and that was me being sarcastic, by the way. But they're cocky, and I got to put them in their place, man. I have to lead backyard wrestling in Wisconsin, worldwide, whatever. I got to lead by example. And that's
this is the battle for the Midwest, really. This is, you know what?
It is.
Backyard Havoc. We had Holden Holloway on Sunday. And he said, I agree with Judas on some things about Darkron, but I respect my veterans. I respect my elders. I don't want to tear them down. I want to work with them. I have no problem with Darkron. I have no problem with all the guys I work with in XCW. IMF, I have a problem with them. I don't have a problem with anybody. I just want to go out and be the best I can be. And to me, it's more about, it's friendly. It's everybody has respect for each other. We want to build something.
That's what
but these guys don't have that same trait. They don't share those values. They share the values of that. They just want to take everything you've built, everything that WCE's done. WCE was the first backyard company to come on Sportswire Radio. You and Craven Rage were the first guest that ever came on who were backyard wrestlers, who were defined as backyard wrestlers. They want to take that. They want to take everything you've built. People can say what they want about WC over the years, but there is no movement. There's no platform without WC. I'd be covering British independent wrestling still. I'd be going on and talking with some wanker with an accent who has no promo skills, who goes out there and wrestles the same guy 15 times a year. I get my 4, 5, 6 people on YouTube watching it. I get 50 views on YouTube. Maybe I get a share on Instagram, 280 views, and another wanker would come on, and we'd have a friendly chat. We'd have crumpets. But you know what? Because of WCE, we do have All Wrestling Matters. We do have Summer Bash. We do have Riot in the Ring. We have Best in the Yard next year. Riot in the Ring 2, Summer Bash 3, Backyard Havoc, and now a Backyard Brawl. But these young whippersnappers, these youth of the backyard, these, let's say, trampoliners, they just want a trampoline on everything you guys specifically built.
I don't know, Tom. They got some spunk. They got some attitude.
It's personal with them. They feel that you guys hold them down. They feel they don't respect you guys even. Tyler Fury said, I respect IMF. IMF, I got no issues with them. I work for them. He said, IMF gave me an opportunity. He implied that WCE didn't give him an opportunity. And STBW, they're only 4 or 5 hours away from you guys. In his mind, he felt because WCE was the first promotion to come on this platform from the backyard, he felt that management from WC, and this is a shoot, he felt that Liz should have contacted him. He felt that management should have called him and his friends, his trampoliners, to trampoline into your ring, because he felt from his vantage point, you gave other people a chance. Why not us? That's what he feels.
That's how he feels?
That's how he feels, Tyler. For Tyler Fury feels like IMF gave him a chance, and WCE, they didn't give him that chance. And that's why he's held by with him and his friends. I mean, who people are they have a curfew? Are they up? Are they doing their homework? Did they go to school yesterday? I mean, people are like wondering, do these kids have to deal with adolescence? Are they, did they get over puberty? I mean, seriously. That's what people have wondered here. And it's just, I don't know, Shawn Jovi. I don't know, but I know that they've got fire right now, and they've got so much fire that they're in the devil's playground, and they've even talked about matches that they want. I even know that Nolan Money McDermott on his stream said he's defending his STBW championship. Tyler Fury talked about a Survivor Series elimination match. So they've basically gone on the offense, and, what do you think of all that?
I think they can make the matches all they want. It doesn't matter. WC will be united. The egos will be set aside. The battle lines have already been drawn.
The battle lines have been drawn, huh?
Yeah, they have. And come Halloween, we're going to show those whippersnappers whose yard it truly is. And I'm not talking like Craven Rage's yard. I'm talking every single person who has fought for Wisconsin backyard wrestling, whether it was Tim Mecca, whether it was Bizzo Blaze, whether it was Krenzen, myself, Craven, whoever.
Krenzen mentioned Bizzo Blaze in his promo about Jonathan Pierce. There's an emotion. We had Bizzo Blaze on Sportswire Radio last year. We had him on.
There is a slew of stars that have come from Wisconsin that have changed the sport.
How about Kato? Kato, who, by the way, just wrestled Jimmy Controversy. Guess what, Kato? He comes from Wisconsin. Oh, by the way.
He needs to come up here.
Think about that for a second. Kato, the man that just wrestled the Jimmy Controversy. He's from Wisconsin. He's a Wisconsin guy. Wisconsin's got a lot of history in the backyard. WCE's been waving the flag. WCE has been waving the flag in the backyard wrestling circuit here these past several years. And these guys from Kewanee, Illinois, they want a trampoline on that. And they're fighting for the other trampoliners because there's a lot of trampoliners right now. They've been getting trampolined on by guys in the underground, the backyard veterans, and they're fighting for them right now. They are fighting for their survival. They are fighting for that.
Tom, if you don't mind, I got a story to tell when it comes to something like that.
Go for it.
it's no secret. 2007, when I was getting my feet wet, I had a trampoline federation known as RCW. And when I went on GBYWN once upon a time, quite some time ago, I had to fight for my survival because I was a trampoline federation. They wanted me to adapt, get a base, get a ring, whatever. And I eventually did that. But I had to fight for my life just to try and make it because I was a trampoliner at one point. A lot of people look down on the trampolines, and I get that. I understand why. I understand the whole purpose behind it, but let's be honest. It's wrestling too. All wrestling matters. And as much as people want to crap on the trampolines, I can't. I literally can't because of where I came from. And that is why it's kind of sad that I show mercy for these kids because they have the same hunger I had in 2009 when I was a part of GBYWN. So I can't blame these guys for doing what they're doing, but they are making a huge mistake by doing what they're doing.
Well, they had guys like Joshua Allen, the TBW owner, James Taylor, the legendary ROEW owner, and they confronted them. And Darkron had a lot to say about them on Monday's stream, and they've been getting pushback, but they don't seem to care, and they're hell-bent on putting the nail in the coffin to WCE Halloween, 5:30 p.m., STBW WCE. They're hell-bent on it. They're hell-bent on this is WCE's last stand, potentially. This is WCE's last stand. It's no more inside drama. It's no more this guy is champion, that guy is not. No, it's trampoliners want to put the nail in the coffin to WCE. That's what they want to do. That's what they want to do. We're less than 7 weeks from that. 7 weeks from that.
You see, but they're not the ones who came up with the tagline, reigniting backyard wrestling.
They didn't.
WCE, yeah, there was other backyard feds the same time as us, but we didn't know all of each other like we do today. WCE reignited backyard wrestling by going on your show, Tom.
WCE changed the face of the backyard and underground wrestling circuit. People can say anything they want. People can have any opinion, but there is no denying the historical importance in July of 2022 when WCE, management of WCE reached out to Sportswire Radio, and WCE became the first backyard wrestling company to come on this platform. I will tell you without a shadow of a doubt, as your host of Sportswire Radio, and your voice, figuratively and literally, where all wrestling matters, the Reverend Tom Bryce, there would probably be no Sportswire Radio in this content and in this context as you see it right now if it was not for WCE. There is no denying that. Without WCE reaching out, would I have maybe got to backyard wrestling? Who knows? But I can tell you I'd be doing British wrestling right now. British independent wrestling with some guy wrestling in front of 15 people who's got a thick accent, who's wrestled the same guy 20 times, who can't cut a promo, and gets 4 or 5 people on YouTube, and gets 50 views, and maybe gets me 1 clip on Instagram. And if I'm so lucky, his promoter would say, yeah, I'll bring somebody else on to talk with you. That's what we'd be at. I'd be covering Division 14 college sports, covering Division 17 women's soccer and men's soccer. I'd be doing my best to hype it up, but the coach will come on. I got to ask the athletic director, yes, can I please talk to your player? Yes, can I please talk to the team? And maybe if I'm lucky, I get 1 big hit on Instagram. But because of WCE changed the face of the backyard wrestling community as we know it. There would be no Discord that we see right now. There would be no YouTube chat right now. We would not have 1,000 subscribers almost. There would be none of what you've seen. Daily content to give you that dose of the backyard and the underground wrestling circuit. So people can say anything they want about WC. They can say anything they want about the content, who's better, who's not. But if it wasn't for WC coming on this platform, you know, I don't think I know you. Nice knowing you if that's the case. If you were here eventually, that's the facts. And STBW wants to trampoline on that. But you know, Shawn Jovi,
yes,
a lot of people I know are in the chat, but apparently I've received word that these trampoliners, these youth of the backyard nation, these youths that they would say in Brooklyn growing up, these young whippersnappers, they've heard you talk so much that they have once again decided that they want to talk to you before Halloween, and they want to share it directly exactly what they're going to do to you. And Mr. Jovi, you're America's resident rock star, and it's up to you. It's your moment. It's your time. Would you like me to bring on Tyler Fury and Nolan Money McDermott of STBW? It's up to you. I know obviously it's an emotional night. We announced the news about Tim Mecca going into the Hall of Fame next Tuesday, but it's only up to you, Mr. Jovi.
I say bring him on because just like backyard wrestling to your platform, it's freedom. Backyard wrestling is freedom because, like you said, you have to talk to athletic directors to get your other people on.
Not anymore, though. Not
anymore because backyard is freedom. We have the freedom to do whatever the hell we want. We're not locked down by giant big money contracts. We're just out for the love of this sport.
Oh, Billy Tilly says it all the time.
Yep. So for the love of this sport, bring these little whippersnappers on.
So ladies and gentlemen, we are about to see it, a face-off, a face-to-face, just weeks away from a Devil's Playground, a backyard brawl. Here they are here. OMG. It's the STBW champion. The champ is here, and Tyler Fury, the STBW owner. I'm letting these gentlemen have the floor. Take it away, boys.
Ladies and gentlemen, STBW, the #1 Midwest company, has arrived. Mr. Resident Reject. I'm sorry.
You know, I'll at least give you some originality. I haven't heard that one yet.
I don't care. Listen here, Mr. Resident Reject. You had a lot of stuff to say all night. Well, guess what? We've been listening to you, and we've been begging to come in the door for the past hour and 16 minutes now. Let me tell you what, Halloween, we are going to burst through that door. Because guess what? The deck is in your hands. The cards are on the table, and it's all about how you use that deck. And we are going to kick your ass unbelievably. Now accept the challenge, be a man, and finally grow some balls and defend your own company.
Hey, the door's been open this whole time. I opened the Forbidden Gate years ago to make this happen. All you have to do is show up, kid. And I'll face you. I'll face Tyler Fury. I'll face any other second-rate bouncy trampoliner you have.
He just called them right bouncy boys. Oh my God!
I mean, come on, man. You're a third-rate wrestler with a fourth-rate trampoline, and you're not going to be able to take me out no matter how hard you try, no matter how hard you whine. I know it's 10 minutes before your bedtime. I'll let you talk.
WC is fighting back. Oh my God!
Hey, hold on. With that big ass head of yours, I expect to be.
Hey, this head's got a lot in it, man. This head's got more knowledge than you have in your little pea-sized brain, pal.
Ooh.
You're still growing, man. You're still growing. I'm a full-blown adult with experience that you only wish you could have.
Ooh.
Tyler, is he done?
I don't know. I don't know, Nolan. I don't know.
Well, you might as well stay humble and shut the hell up because the champ's here, baby.
The champ is here. What are you? What, I'm sorry. What champion are you?
I still got this bad boy.
The IMF US champion.
Yeah.
So you're a champion of a company that's not even yours.
I have the interstate. Hey, you never know. I'm making announcements tomorrow on Scars, Sweat, and Tears. I could be doing other things. But
you could be doing other things. See, I'm the STBW World Heavyweight Champion, a company that actually matters, a championship that has relevancy. I'm going to walk into Devil's Playground, put the championship on the line, and I hope you or anybody of your wasteless little company accepts the challenge so I can bury you in the grave. I can put the nail in your coffin, and I will piss on your grave with a smile on my face.
Well, I could accept your challenge if you want. Do you want a piece of the resident Rockstar?
I would like a piece of the resident Reject. I'm sorry. Did I?
Oh my goodness. Did I just hear that again? America's resident Reject. Oh my God.
Hey, so Shawn.
Hey,
Shawn,
I'd
I'm
rather be
sorry.
America's
You're
reject than
older.
be
No,
a trampoline reject, all right?
Listen. Your old Alzheimer's ass is rubbing off on me. Sorry, I'm forgetting things. My bad. My apologies.
Jeez.
Wow.
Might need some meds for that, pal.
Yeah, why don't you go take your arthritis cream and shut the hell up?
Oh, he brought up the arthritis cream again. That's the second time he's done that. Nolan Money McDermott, he's fighting. He's giving you Shawn Jovi. I mean, I didn't even think Soldier GP and Omen Black said things like that in the past. Once upon a time when IMF and WC were fighting.
You see,
I can actually defend
Soldier
myself.
and
See, you didn't
Omen
have
at
the
least
balls
have
to defend your
legit
company.
things to say. You're just making up words and using inanimate objects to describe what I am. Omen and Soldier can at least do better than what you guys are doing. So you guys aren't even phasing me right now. You can tell me to put this arthritis ass cream on all you want. Sure, I'll put my arthritis cream on because by the time I'm done doing that, my foot's going to be up your ass, kid.
Oh! Shawn Jovi's not phased. He's faced the likes of Isaiah Rage. He's faced the likes of Ox McCoy. He's faced the likes of Soldier GP. He's faced the likes of some of the very best big man Cammy's faced. He's faced some huge names in our circuit, figuratively and literally, and he seems like he's not phased. Nolan, I mean, what do you say to all this?
You see, Monday, when we were on Sportswire, the prime time, Shawn, where were you in your little company? Nowhere to be found. Because
I mean,
you didn't have
why
the
would I?
balls you didn't have the balls to defend your own company. And
Nah,
just like
you
that,
see,
this is what happened on Monday when we walk in to Wisconsin. We're going to slap you around, beat the hell out of you, and make you our little bitch. Because that's what STVW does, and that's what WCB does. You guys are nothing but our little bitch.
Oh. Well,
Nice, dude.
apparently I've received word from WCE. Now, WCE has been hearing this back and forth here over the past few minutes. And I've received a message from management. I have to play this because it does involve both parties. So I have to play this message here. And I'll get to everybody in a few minutes. But WCE wants to say, since you boys want a piece of WCE, how about a proposition? Your four guys versus our four pillars, a true backyard brawl, war game style. Oh my goodness, Illinois, Wisconsin, blue, purple, everybody's going to end up black and blue at the end of the day. A war games like proposal in the backyard brawl. Ladies and gentlemen, this is truly going to be a devil's playground coming up here on Halloween. What do you guys say?
You know what, Tom? You know what I say? I say you're on. We accept.
And
Oh my goodness.
that is money.
More money than you'll ever make doing.
Oh my goodness.
I hope you save up your lawn mowing money, buddy, to be able to come up here because I don't even think you're old enough to have a real job. So,
oh my goodness.
The only job you're going to have is losing to me and the WCE roster.
Oh
That's
my
the job
goodness.
you will have.
The four pillars of WCE, Jovi, Marshall, Sinister, and Crenson together? I mean, this is unbelievable against Nolan Money McDermott, Tyler Fury, Peyton the Pacemaker, and Dalton the Executioner. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, this is just, I'm floored that we're going to see a war game style match in the backyard brawl. This is truly a devil's playground. I mean, this is really true that we're going to see this match in particular, very well could decide who controls the Midwest. This could really decide who controls the Great Lakes in the Midwest. Think about it. Illinois on one side, Wisconsin on the other. And this match, this war game style match, is going to decide who controls the Midwest. Tyler Fury, you got the floor.
Okay, if I may say something, you know how you mentioned earlier on passing the torch? Well, yeah, you're right. they're not passing the torch. We're taking the torch, and not only are we taking the torch, but we're burning WCE to the ground.
Oh my God! I told you, Jovi, about that. I told you on Monday's show. They even said some of your big, expensive contracts, they're ripping them up, and Tyler can do that. He owns STBW. He's going to pull a Vince McMahon like Vince McMahon did in 2001 on Raw when he fired the likes of Jeff Jarrett. He didn't take the contracts of the likes of Lex Luger and all those big names, those big, high-priced, fat contracts in WCW. You think that Tyler Fury, after what he's heard tonight, you think he's taking Nicholas Crenton's big, fat contract? You think he's taking your best friend Darkfire's contract? You think he's going to take on all the hangers that have been on WC's fat payroll that WC's been cutting and paying checks to for all these years? You think that that's going to happen? Now Tyler Fury basically said, look, if WC doesn't win this year, that it's all going to be ripped. It's going to be ripped into shreds. It's going to be ripped into smithereens, ladies and gentlemen.
Tom,
Your parents sign your permission slips because you guys are in
you know what you guys can
The ball
do?
was in your court. The ball was in your court. Congratulations. I'm proud of you that you accept the challenge. Tyler, my bad for cutting you off, but listen, Shawn, you told a little story. You told your story about how WC and Sportswire, well, we're closing the book on your bitch ass come Halloween.
STBW could be the ones to take over Sportswire for the future. That's what Nolan Money McDermott is saying. He's saying that trampoliners are going to be the future of Sportswire. He's saying that WC is yesterday's news. He's saying that STBW is today's news, tomorrow's news, and forever news. That's what he's saying. He's saying we're ushering in a new era. We are ushering a youth of the Backyard Nation. He is ushering in a new generation that has been waiting patiently for their time to get the torch. It's guys like here in STBW, guys like Judas, guys like in BTW, guys like Maxwell Reeves, guys like Ace Reed. They've had it. They're not going to take it anymore. And this could very well be the warning shot. And these guys also said on Monday's show that WCE is the first stop, and then they're going to other places next.
We're going on a tour.
They're not stopping. The WCE train, the nail in the coffin, it doesn't end with WC. It's only going to be the first stop for the STBW boys.
We're going to take it one step by one step, Tom. We're going to take it step by step. And you know what? They can take their contracts and they can shove it because at the end of the day, they're nothing to us because we're going to take them down and put the nail in the coffin on October 31st at 5:30 p.m. Central Time.
Central Standard Time. Boy, I tell you what. You want to talk about Halloween. You want to talk about trick or treat. You want to talk about the end of the backyard wrestling season. I would say it might really start the backyard wrestling season. I might want to say it's going to start a new generation of backyard wrestling talk because we are seeing something here. I mean, WCE is fighting for their survival. But, Mr. Jovi, let me ask you something before I have something else up my sleeve. Let's say WCE wins, though. WCE wins this War Game style match. I mean, we haven't heard if WCE is going to go out and bounce these bouncy guys off a trampoline and take the trampoline and crumble it up and fold it up and put it in the garage somewhere and maybe put it out with the recycling. I mean, if you guys win, are you doing the same to STBW or you guys are just like, see you next year, kids?
That's a good question. And honestly, I haven't even thought about it because I don't really give a crap about the threat.
Because it ain't going to happen.
I just don't know what to do with some useless ass kids' contracts. I just wouldn't know what to do with it.
Are you saying these contracts with STBW aren't worth anything? Are you saying that their contracts are worth less than the trampoline they wrestle on?
Probably. I mean, it's probably a hot dog and a handshake. And a little
worth a hot dog and a handshake?
I mean, these guys should be in a bounce house. Like, they should
be in a goddamn bounce house. You're going to bounce them off like John Bon Jovi's album Bounce all those years. That's what you're telling me. Every day you're going to be bouncing.
Every day I'm going to be wiping the floor with these kids.
Oh, my goodness.
And then when we win, I'll tell you to have a nice day.
But you're not saving the day anymore because you might be everyone's little America's resident reject. Oh, whoopsie daisy, did it again. Everybody's hero, that thinks that you're going to save the day once again from these young whippersnappers, as you call us, well, you're not going to save the day anymore. We're putting you in the grave. We're putting your old asses to sleep, and we're going to break your old ass in half.
Well, you know what? You said grave just now. Is that correct, Mr. McDermott? You said grave just now, champ? You said grave, huh? Well, let me get to comments first, because I want to come back to that. And there's a reason why before we close the show. But please follow WC's YouTube page. And also follow STBW's YouTube page, where you're going to find out a lot more information. But I have a lot of comments I want to run through before I'm going to come back to that grave war, which let's just say is going to end the show tonight. Hang on to that first.
WCE is in grave danger,
I'll tell you what, you know what? Everybody thought last year was the IMF going to put the nail in the coffin of WC. Everybody thought Craven Rage's actions a few months ago would put the nail in the coffin to WC. But now it seems like trampoliners.
We're finishing what they started.
Oh, well, you know what? This might be the most gravest threat. But when I heard from Holden Holloway on Sunday's show, and he did say that if his promotion was in grave danger, he would fight like there's no tomorrow. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to find out. Does WC have that same fight like they would in ALW versus DKW if it came up to it? Let me get to some comments here before I come back to something to end the show, because I got something that I'm going to end the show with that. Let's just say it's going to be grave. I'm not ready to go. Oh, well, thank you for that. Yes, and hit the sub button for me while you're at it. But by the way, where is Dalton the Executioner in all this with, well, let's say Jonathan Pierce the Executioner? Somebody might want to make a match about that. The Battle of the Executioner. Who maybe could say they're the real Executioner? Could be an idea there. It is not a spoiler, but it is a fact that WC is going to kick their little butts. Let's just put it that way. James Marshall gets mail from AARP. Thank you for letting us know. Nicholas Crenton's using meat. Oh, boy. Levi McDaniel's watching this. A man that knows two of you gentlemen, and maybe third after that. Shocker, baby. Yeah, that's a shock. Sounds like a wanking good time. He's talking about the UK comments. Shawn, Jovi, Craven Rage, James Marshall, and Nicholas Crenton. We built this company, and we are not going there. That's the four pillars. Now, that's going to be the War Game match. It's going to be Dalton the Executioner, Peyton, the champion of STBW, Nolan Money McDermott, and Tyler Freer, the owner of STBW, against Sinister, a.k.a. multiple-time All-Out champion, also former multiple All-Out champion, James Marshall, many considered to be the measuring stick in WC and the Midwest. The legendary Nicholas Crenton, IMF Hardcore Tag Team Champion, one half, and of course, America's resident rock star, America's vlogger, America's cat dad, Shawn Jovi, the current IMF US Champion, RCW Underground World Champion at one time, IMF US Champion multiple times, Interstate Champion multiple times, and member of the GBYWN once upon a time. STBW, we're going to send you boys back home like the Packers said, the dead beat Bears, Packy. Oh boy, we're now invoking Packers, Bears. It's getting.
If I may say something, the Packers suck for one. The Bears are the best.
I mean, wrestling, and you guys are just like the Bears. They still suck.
Well, I gotta say this. I'm gonna make everybody laugh. I can't say anything because I'm in New York and my team is technically the Jets, so that's the worst of the teams. They haven't been to the playoffs in 14 years, so we can move on. We'll call it truce on that one. We'll all laugh at the Jets.
I mean, we could always call it a truce, or I could also just say that both teams suck because personally, I don't like either team. So
okay, fair enough. Thank you very much. That was a clever way to get out of that one. That was a good rest hold there to buy. Ox McCoy says geezers versus whippersnappers. Yeah,
I actually like that.
Oh, was actually pretty good. That was a pretty good one. Yeah, we love Ox. Ox made a logo for us that we really love, and he made that in blood. Well, Mr. Monopoly Money rejected Nolan. Craven Rage. There's a little gimmick there, a little chimmick. He says chin music. Zilla, though, is on the side of STBW. There are some veterans out there that have been supporting STBW, like Justin Parsley, for example. He's been one veteran out there supporting STBW.
Zilla knows. Zilla's going down in history.
I even heard that there's another name in the Midwest that's a legendary name in the backyard wrestling circuit that quietly from the scenes, he supports STBW. Can't say who it is. I can't say who it is. But all I can say is that apparently there's a legendary veteran in the Midwest, and it's not IMF. not IMF, that supports STBW.
Hey, Tom, if
Yes,
I may
sir.
say, before we get to the next comment, I will say, when you mentioned Jovi's name, you said it wrong. It's America's Resident Reject.
Thank you, Tyler. Thank you.
And there's no one setting it. Well, we can't repeat that. We're a family station. That's Silverwolf show, so I can't repeat that line. I'm gonna buy that you guys out of that one because we're a family station. I actually do have almost 1,000 subscribers. That might work on like the public access TV show or the guys with 100 subs. We actually have people that watch our show, so we'll move on. Welcome to your nightmare, boys. I'm in. I hope Nolan saves up his girl. Well, it's Scout, but I got the point. They're getting paid.
Quit making a ridiculous ass comment. Learn how to spell, jackass.
Well, you just wait. I'm contacting my agent. Ox McCoy, though, it seems like one veteran's impressed with you guys tonight. And Ox McCoy's a big guy to be friends with. A big man. Sean Jovi's had a history with him. He's had some famous bloody wars with him. And he wishes your mic was loud. But I hear you fine. The mic's okay. Don't worry about it. The mic's good. Don't worry.
From watching Ox, Nolan, you want to get on his good side. You never want to be on his bad side.
Trust me.
Listen.
You get on his bad side, he'll kick your ass.
Sean Jovi found that out before. Their contracts is like toilet paper. We're going to wipe their hair. Let's move on. We don't want to repeat that stuff. No scars, sweat, and tears analysis from you boys. Well, it'll be out tomorrow, so maybe we'll get the guys on after tomorrow. But Il Drago seems to be loving Nolan Money McDermott. I love to run Nolan for his money in the ring on the Mike Kiddo. Must be hyped on all that sugar he ate. Respectfully, the High Chief Drago. So it seems like these guys they're for real. They're for real. So it's Halloween is a Thursday. I think we said it's always on Halloween. So I can put the picture up for those out there. We do have a lot of people with us still. Thank you so much. We have 50 people with us right now. So I want to put this poster up one more time. For a lot of people are fired up. They knew they had to tune into this one. So that's the poster. That's when the show airs. WC's YouTube page, STBW's YouTube page. Go out there and watch it. Trust me. This is going to be like something you've never seen. And it's a full... Think about this right now. Usually we get Summer Bash, All Wrestling Matters, Riot in the Ring, all these events. It's summer. We're getting this in fall. We're getting this. We're getting Backyard Havoc. We're getting this in fall. Fall's just the start of the season. It's not the end. Keep in mind.
You don't want to miss STBW putting the nail in the coffin on WC.
Ooh, it could be their Sunday stand, let's just say, or their Thursday night stand. Justin Parasite. Well, I don't know about that, but Nolan, you definitely saw what you see. I'm open that day. Maybe this match needs an enforcer.
Come on, Levi. Come on up.
Guest to watch us put the nail in the coffin.
Levi McDaniel, enforcer. In Appleton? In Appleton. A neutral observer. A new party to take place. Let's just say an even-handed moderator. Unlike maybe what we saw Tuesday night. A neutral moderator. A fair and balanced person to make sure a fair winner is declared. Very clever. Very clever.
I have no issue with that whatsoever.
That's an interesting proposal. That's something that interesting, very, very interesting. I think that's something we've seen these before. Roddy Piper has done that before. Shawn Michaels. We've seen these names before, and he's serious. He's serious. That's interesting.
I'll get in contact with them and talk it.
Sean Jovi and Tyler Fury could be fighting right after the show. They could be fighting left and right for this. Oh my God! Oh my God!
Levi about this, yeah, definitely.
Well, you know what? I'll tell you what. Before I do anything, I want people to go hit the sub button for WCE because you're going to watch not only this, but you got Scars, Sweat, and Tears tomorrow. You got Fight or Fright. You got a lot of shows coming up in WCE. A lot of shows coming up here. You need to hit the sub button.
Go watch these last few shows because they're going to be the last on the channel.
Oh! Well, you know what, ladies and gentlemen? It could very well be STBW owning the WCE library. They could be owning that library on November 1st even. on November 1st. And you know what? These guys are showing they can punch. They're not pushovers. They're fighting. Tyler Fury has my respect. The waves to the islands are open to you. Oh, my God. We are seeing neutral CE, WCE. It's official, Levi. Okay, well, I guess apparently management's going to talk to Levi McDaniel, and we're going to make this happen. I mean, and before we do anything else, I got a lot of people. Go hit the sub button now for STBW. You want to hit this sub button because they've got a lot of content. They're going to be putting videos out talking about Devil's Playground and Backyard Brawl. Please support them. I want to get these guys to 500 subscribers. I want to get them to 700 subscribers. I want to get them to as many subscribers as possible so we can have a lot more to talk about here coming up. But you know, gentlemen, before this show ends, I promise something because Nolan Money McDermott, you mentioned that word grave. Remember you mentioned that word grave?
I did. Yes, sir.
No, you mentioned it, right? You mentioned that word grave. Well, I'll tell you what. I apparently have received word from WCE. I have received word from management tonight that I have a special video. And I don't even know what this video is. I have no idea. I haven't watched it. I don't know what it looks like. But I have received a video from management that I have to play here before we sign off. In fact, we're going home. We're ending the show with this video. And it very well could change what you guys have said tonight about the Devil's Playground and the Backyard Brawl. Because I can assure you, well, this could be something that could very well be somebody's or maybe 4 people's funerals from what I've received. So for those that are listening and watching in prime time, the brightest lights, the biggest stage, the only platform where all wrestling matters, it is my obligation to play this video from WCE's management in response to everything that's been said by Small Town Backyard Wrestling's Tyler Fury, Nolan Money McDermott, and Dalton the Executioner. So ladies and gentlemen, let's get right to it. Brand new, have never been seen before video. And oh my God.
For weeks and weeks, you've been running your mouth how you going to put the nail in the coffin. So while you little sheep has been sitting at home in your bouncy house, I've been here in WC building what you want.
Oh my God.
Coffin waiting for you.
Oh.
STBW guys. And I guarantee you next month at Devil's Playground, you boys, one of you boys will be end up in that coffin. Because I guarantee you, when that main event hits, and you are stepping in the ring with the most dangerous men on this planet, Shawn Jovi, the resident rock star, James Marshall, the measuring stick, Sinister, the most evil man on this planet. You know, it doesn't matter which one of us you step in the ring with, but in the main event, falls count anywhere, anything goes. We're gonna treat your ass.
Oh my God! He said treat. He said treat. He said treat.
Because WCE are the ones, and you are the twos. So guess what? Rage out.
Oh my God! He said rage out. Ladies and gentlemen, you have just seen it. Craven rage one more time. We have to play it again. Go to the tape.
In the coffin. So while you little sheep has been sitting at home in your bouncy house, I've been here in WC building what you want. I have the coffin waiting.
You misspelled
STBW dies. And I guarantee you next month at Devil's Playground, you boys, one of you boys will be end up in that coffin. Because
Other way around.
You
I volunteer Nolan.
I volunteer
You're
Jovi.
stepping in the ring with the most dangerous men on this planet, Shawn Jovi, the resident rock star.
Oh my
James
God!
Marshall, the measuring stick, Sinister, the most evil man.
Does he
on
have his
this
trick or
planet.
treat bag? It looks like he's
You
ready
know,
for Halloween
it
already.
doesn't matter.
Ladies and
which
gentlemen,
one of us
oh my
you step
God!
in the ring with,
Oh my
but in
God!
the main event, falls count anywhere, anything goes.
Falls count anywhere.
I did
We're
not know
gonna
about
treat
that.
your ass and send you back
Tyler,
to the
you gotta hide behind a mask.
bouncy
He's
house
gonna have
where
to
you
wear a mask for
belong.
the rest of his life after we're done
Because
with him.
WCE are the ones, and you are the tool.
Oh my God!
Guess what?
Rage out!
Rage out.
Rage out! Rage out! Craven Rage is back on Sportswire for the first time in over 3 months! Craven Rage has spoke! Sinister! And not only has he spoke, he's preparing a coffin for STBW! I'm shocked! Ladies and gentlemen! This is something, you thought you've seen it all on this platform. Apparently, gentlemen, as we get ready to close this show, Sinister has been working on this for days. He's been working on this for days. This coffin is going to be the true nail in the coffin for STBW. And he's saying rage out, and it's false count anywhere now. False count anywhere. Oh my God, ladies and gentlemen. What have we gotten ourselves into? You have to be wondering, what are we getting ourselves into? This is a devil's playground like we've never seen before. This is a backyard brawl that nobody could anticipate we're seeing. Now, literally, somebody from STBW very well now could be in a coffin and in a grave. And in a grave that could be dug deep below in the ground. And we don't know it. It's STBW die! STBW die! Craven Rage is back on Sportswire! Craven Rage is back! Ladies and gentlemen, Ledger Shane announced he's back on Sportswire. Now Craven Rage is back! Craven Rage is back, and he's saying STBW is going to be in the grave. They're going to be dug deep. Rage out! He's tired of it, and he's taken... It in no means by anybody could have expected. Sinister is back. He is the most evilest man in backyard wrestling history. Ladies and gentlemen, I think we're out of time tonight. There's serious questions that need to be answered between now and October 31st. Because what has STBW gotten themselves into? Because Craven Rage, a.k.a. Sinister, is now working on a grave, a nail in the coffin. He's physically worked on. Ladies and gentlemen, will the young trampoliners from Kewanee, Illinois now redecide what they've gotten into? Because now Sinister and WCE played us. They played us all because they took the bait. STBW took the bait tonight. WCE let these guys talk week after week after week, and now we've seen that WCE has a coffin, and they've got a coffin that could be any one of these 4 young men, Tyler Fury, Nolan Money McDermott, Dalton the Executioner, and Peyton. They very well could be in a grave that could be their own funeral, which should have been 70 years from now, could be happening on October the 31st. We have serious answers that need to be figured out. We have questions that are going to have to be answered between now and October 31st, and ladies and gentlemen, the big question now will be, will STBW, will they reevaluate this? We will have to find out. Shawn Jovi's back here next week. I am sure STBW is going to be here real soon, and I am shocked. I did not see this one coming. Sinister is back on Sportswire. He is back for the first time. He was thought to have been banished. He was thought to have never have been to comment or seen from again on this platform, but he has gone and said maybe his most diabolical statements. He has gone off and said things that nobody would have ever anticipated even he would do. Ladies and gentlemen, we are out of time. My name is the Reverend Tom Bryce, your voice, figuratively and literally, we're all wrestling matters. We were joined, it looks like for now, the STBW champion, Nolan Money McDermott, Tyler Fury, owner of STBW, and America's resident Rockstar, the IMF US champion of the world, and also going to be in action coming up here tomorrow, 4 p.m. Eastern Time, 3 p.m. Central Standard Time, America's resident Rockstar, America's Cat Dad, America's Rider, Shawn Jovi. He'll have a major announcement, Scarlet, Sweat, and Tears. My name is the Reverend Tom Bryce, your voice, figuratively and literally, we're all wrestling matters. And if you're on Sportswire, way to go with the sub button for the on that road to 1,000 subscribers. Also follow us on Twitch. Also check us out tomorrow. I'll have Steven Storm with the BCF3. We have serious questions to need to be answered. What now is the future of the Devil's Playground, a backyard brawl? Will we see maybe revisiting from STBW, because Sinister is one of maybe the most diabolical thing he has ever done, and anybody's done in backyard wrestling history. Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in, and good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. On the number one.